Thanks for downloading this episode of the Nerdball Podcast. I'm your host, Lorenzo, coming to you live from my parents' basement. I think I finally named the studios. I just dawned on me about 5 seconds ago. I'm just going to name it PB Studios for Parents' Basement. If you don't like it, well, I don't care. My dad probably won't like it. He gave me a bunch of names, but as I said a couple weeks ago, I don't remember them. That's how good they were. So it is now PB Studios. We'll roll with that. As always, appreciate all of you for liking, following, sharing, subscribing, doing anything you can to help the podcast grow. Follow us on any social media, including TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. Just search the Nerdball Podcast. I am really working really hard to make these TikToks and Reels, and sometimes they get views and sometimes they don't. So make sure you subscribe, especially on YouTube, to never miss any episodes if you want to see the guests as opposed to just hear them. I understand a lot of people just like listening to podcasts, but sometimes you want to see them too. So check those out. Again, thanks for everything, and I hope you enjoy the episode.
My name is Eric Bush.
My name is Carter Young.
And this is the Nerdball Podcast.
This is the Nerdball Podcast with Lorenzo Melcher.
Awesome. First take. Nailed it, guys. Awesome. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I feel like, Eric, you said when you first sat down, you've been waiting a while to come on here. So now you're here. Is it everything you ever thought it would be?
Oh, absolutely. And more, too.
Oh, all right. Good. So one thing I always ask everyone is, what is something you're nerding out about? Something you're really into, whether it's a hobby, if you like cooking, baking, reading books, movies, whatever. Something you either just started or could have been from ever since you're little. Eric, we'll start with you. What is something you're really into?
As a lineman speaking, I really love cooking.
Do you?
I love cooking, man.
All right.
Especially because I always feel like the food that you cook always tastes better than
100%.
when someone else cooks it. So I love cooking, especially when I'm at home for my family.
Yeah.
So I just love cooking, man. I'm always geeked out about cooking.
What's your favorite thing?
That's a lot.
Or is it something like your family likes that you make?
My family says I have really good ribs.
Okay.
So
right.
yeah, so I have like a secret sauce I can't put out because it's a little secret of mine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they love my sauce, and so I make some pretty good ribs.
How do you make? Do you like bake them, grill them, smoke them? What do you do?
I smoke them.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I like smoking ribs. My daughter wanted ribs one time for dinner, and it's like 3. I go, Lillian, it takes 6 hours to smoke these ribs. Right, it ain't gonna happen. What other stuff do you like to make?
I'm also a big dessert guy, so if you need cakes, cupcakes, cookies, brownies, I'm your man.
Okay.
I just love I like baking everything, to be honest.
Well, what got into you? Like, this is what I like to do.
So when I was younger, my mom would always cook for us,
Mm-hmm.
and one day she made this casserole. No idea what it was, but I just kept watching her cook it, and I was like, that's actually fascinating. I like that. So I just asked her, hey mom, can I cook with you? When you're cooking dinner for us?
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, sure. So I just been cooking with her for years, and then that was to the point where if she doesn't feel like cooking, she just got work, she's tired, I'm gonna do my mom a favor and cook for the family for her. So
yeah. Do you help make a grocery list for the week? Saying oh, I'd like to make this week.
No.
No.
No, I gotta deal with what I got, but
Okay.
my mom is usually in charge of that. She doesn't trust me yet with the groceries.
There's an app where you can put, if you look in your fridge and your pantry and you put in the ingredients and it tells you things you can make with that.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty sweet. Yeah.
my mom knows my mom would know what you're talking about. I think she has it actually.
Casseroles. My mom would make casseroles all the time, and I always, as an adult, I was like, oh, it was just one of those things I need to clean the freezer out. I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff in the pan.
Right. Right.
But it was always delicious.
Exactly.
As long as she would make it with some protein, chicken, tuna, something, and it would always be good.
And also my grandma. I would help my grandma on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because Thanksgiving that's a
big
lot
deal.
of cooking. So
Yeah.
all the hands they needed, I'm just there. So
That's cool, man. It's a cool thing to get into. I also enjoyed cooking. Can't always do, especially during football season. You get home late and there's just not things, there's just not enough time. But I really enjoy it. Once I'm done coaching basketball, I can get into it and start cooking a little bit more too. So, Carter, what about you? What are you into?
Oh, I'm really into basketball. I mean, I've just been into it my whole life. I've started at a young age, and it's just been my passion and my love for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember specifically ooh, this is going to be my thing?
Yeah, when I was actually a freshman in high school is
Okay.
when I was just like, wow, like I dearly love this sport, because in junior high I didn't get much playing time, and I like questioned myself if I even wanted to keep playing. But then my freshman year I grew like 9 inches over summer, and I just
God, that's gotta hurt.
I know, and I just gained so much confidence
Yeah.
with myself. So I was like, wow, like I really do love this sport, and I just want to keep playing it.
Yeah, that's cool. And speak, and I'm going to talk to you about the same question, Eric. Speak on the fact that what mindset, especially as a junior high kid, you're like, I'm not playing, I'm just going to quit or not quit. Like, what went into that? Because it is a lot of kids, any sport, if they're not playing, if they're not getting playing time, they're going to quit that sport. Well, for you, what was it that just made you stick it out?
I mean, going into high school, I just wanted to play a sport, and I really did my best to develop my skills with basketball and just stuck with it. I mean, even though I knew I wasn't that good, I knew my heart was into the sport, and I just wanted to commit to it and stick with it.
Is that something you do all year round?
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah.
Used to do it all year round,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you're a senior?
Yeah, I'm a senior.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk about after high school plans, but that is a big thing. I had Coach Whitmer on the podcast. He was just in real time. He recorded 2 days ago in podcast land. It was a week ago, but he was on and he talked about, and we were talking about you and how, like, you know, you wrestled 3 years, you know, and were able to do really well. But for you, you know, because even football, like, it took a couple years. It's not like you were starting as a sophomore, right?
Yeah.
So like what for you? What went into, like, man, I want to be on there, or what can I do, or was there ever a thought? And I know that there was, because we had a conversation. Like, I ain't doing this anymore. But like, what fixed that, or what changed that? I guess.
I feel like what changed it was definitely my sophomore year, because I felt like I was good enough to play on varsity my sophomore year, but you know, me not going to the liftings during the summer and like that winter kind of affected me, and like I had no problems with it because like I know it was my fault. Like I should have done that work, but I just knew I was better than JV. So it just clicked in my head that I need to like change my ways. So I went extra hard in the weight room, extra hard in practice, extra hard on film, and then I finally got the opportunity at the end, at like the middle of my sophomore year, that I started for the rest of the year. So just that right there, just getting humbled a little bit. I really needed that, because going from freshman year, like I was like, oh yeah, man, I'm going to be on varsity, all that, too, saying you're getting put on JV, it hurt. Like, it hurt a lot. And so got humbled, and then just had to start from the bottom back up again. So,
Well, it's nice to hear too that, like, because some kids, I would imagine, and I can't put words in your mouth. I would imagine if you would have quit, it would have been everybody else's fault. But the fact that you recognize, like, oh no, this is all me. Like, like I have to do something. I got to change something, and you did.
Yeah, I was still like mad at the fact. I was like, man, I shouldn't be on JV, but it's like I was fine because I knew it was my fault. So I wasn't gonna put the blame on anybody else.
Yeah. Do you have Carter? Do you have a favorite, like, basketball memory now that you're done in high school? Like, do you have something that you're like, oh man, I remember that night or day or play or whatever?
Oh, for sure. It was definitely this year against Whitmer at home, 100%. I mean, I'm gonna remember that game for probably the rest of my life. Like, I'm definitely gonna tell my kids that story one time, and I'm also gonna bring him up in the story too. He was involved in it.
All right, so I was not there. I thought about going that day. I was gonna take Mateo and then my son, and I was like, we had some other stuff that we had to do instead. So okay. Explain to me what happened, because the videos that are out there are always just aftermath stuff.
Yeah.
But explain to me what happened, because I mean, maybe there's probably a lot of people that weren't there either. So
yeah. So what happened was, so Whitmer knew that they were gonna lose, and our point guard Adam Gray, he was taking the ball down the court. The ref blew the whistle, and then this kid on Whitmer hit him like with a cheap shot. He went flying.
Yeah. That's
when everybody like stood up and was like what the hell?
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
And so, like, I went over there, and I was like, yo, like, you don't do that. And he was just trying to, like, come up to me. And that's when, like, some other guys started coming. And then Braylon Foster, like, came over, and that's just when, like, things got real ugly with, like, Antoine West and Braylon. So
I heard his name. I heard Braylon's name in that, but you were on the court at the time, and Braylon was too, right? Because if you come off the bench, you get suspended or something, right?
Yeah, 2 of our players got suspended.
Oh, did they really?
They did, yeah.
Okay. Did they like just put like a couple feet and then went back, or did they go all the way out there?
Well, they like went all the way out there, but they didn't. I mean, they were just like pulling people off each other and stuff until they went back to the bench.
Yeah. So where does Eric fit into this?
Oh my god! I'll explain
Yeah,
this part.
you explain it. I love this.
So I see Adam go flying, and
Yeah.
So I'm at like the first row of the student section.
Yeah.
So he comes flying at my feet. So I went and go pick him up. I said, "Good job, good job." 19 seconds left. We about to win this game. And then I just see Braylon go confront the Whitmer player. Then all the Whitmer players just start going at Braylon. I was like, "Oh my god, what's happening?" They're pushing each other, punching each other. So I grabbed one of the players that was punching Braylon.
Yeah.
I picked him up. Didn't slam him or nothing. I just walked him away. I was like, calm down. Like
Yeah.
it's not that big. Like
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal. Then other Whitmer players and coaches came after me. And I was like, whoa. I'm not slamming him. I'm not hitting him or nothing. I was just escalating the situation.
Yeah.
And basically, like I pulled the guys off Braylon, and basically everyone called me the hero of the night. And like, if you look at the videos, you just see me with a football helmet on, just picking him up and just dragging him away.
Did you get in trouble?
So I couldn't go to the next two games because basically, according to OHSAA,
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to leave the student section if there's an altercation or touch one of the other players. So I get it. I understand. Like it's the rules. I get it. But
Yeah.
like, if that happens again, like I'm going to do it again. 'Cause
Exactly. I mean,
I was
you did a good thing.
I was
so.
defending my teammate because he's my football teammate, and I was defending a friend. So I wasn't just going to sit there and let him get pushed around. So
Look, it'd be one thing if you guys, or if you like were actually like fighting somebody.
Yeah, true.
Then probably you probably would have said something a little different. But the fact that you were in there just helping or trying to help or trying to de-escalate it or whatever, I just think that's so crazy. Yeah, like I said, I saw all the videos and on Twitter and everything, but it was all just aftermath. So it wasn't as good. But that's. I didn't even think about that when I asked you that question, but
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
and what's crazy about it? It didn't even last that long. It probably lasted like 30 seconds, but like the videos, like you'll see, made it look like it lasted like a long time. It only lasted like 30 seconds. Then like everyone's just like, okay, let's just go home.
Where the coaches went out there too, right?
Yeah, and so did like the Whitmer students. They were like running over.
Oh,
From their
really?
student
Oh my
section.
gosh.
Yeah, like you can like see on the film camera, just like 15 kids just running over.
They just
Yeah.
sprinted across the basketball court over it. It was,
Yeah, and it made it worse.
How many times have you watched that film?
I'm not even kidding. Maybe like 100 times.
I bet because you can see, you guys. I'm sure you guys are aware as coaches, we can see how much film you guys watch.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I bet everyone's skyrocketed after the game.
Oh yeah.
Like,
100%.
why is Carter watching so much scout film? We're like, no, he's just watching that same video over and over again.
Like even on Friday, I watched it again.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's wild. I told my wife, I go, I'm probably glad I didn't go because I might have been trying to get down there too, and I would have got in trouble.
Yeah.
So, but man, that's crazy.
Yeah, like there were parents on the court too, like
Yeah.
trying to like stop people from running over and stuff. And like Braylon's parents were like going down there too.
Yeah, Braylon's dad's gigantic.
Oh my
So-
god, he's
God,
huge.
he's a
yeah.
big dude.
Yeah, he is a really big dude. Yeah. Yeah, he's big.
Yeah. Eric, what about you? Through football, wrestling, what's a favorite memory of yours?
Oh man, this might sound a little biased because I just got done with season, but I would say my district blood round match against Andrew Henderson against St. Edwards. We were tied 8.
Coach Whitner talked about that in the last week. Yeah, it was awesome. But go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, we were tied 8-8, and then all of a sudden he just threw himself on his back. I got the pin. I got to qualify for state. So yeah, just seeing the whole Jimmy run. Everyone's happy. There's a dog on the mat. we had Scotty's dog Augie on the mat.
Okay.
So I watch that video probably every day.
Yeah.
It was probably my favorite moment by far.
So I tell Coach Whitner the same thing. I watch that video a lot. And then I want to ask you. So I've never wrestled. I don't know a lot about it. It looked like that St. Ed's guy was trying to do something or trying to do a move for like a second. I could see him like his hips start turning, and then you almost just like sit down and don't let him. What was he? Do you know what he was trying to do? Or
So earlier in the match, he had a really nice lat drop on me. Just when you throw someone over your shoulder, it was a really nice throw. I over wrestled, so he put me on my back. It was
Okay.
whatever. So I tied up the match, and we were like in a big like bear hug, body lock bear hug, and I can just tell like he wanted to throw because I think he thought he was losing when it was tied. So I know he wanted to do something to win. So I have a body lock. Right when I felt his hips dropped, I dropped my hips.
Yeah.
And then, I just sat on top of him and got the pin.
That was cool. So what if you for St. Ed's you're up? Was he up 2 points before the stalling or 1 point?
He was up 1 point, so it was 7-8, and then I pushed him out, got the stall point.
Yeah.
So then it was tied.
I don't understand, and again I'm not into wrestling, but like when you're up, like why would you even like get even close to being a stalling call? Because that seems like such an easy point.
It is and it isn't. It really just depends. It depends on the ref you got.
Okay.
Like to be honest, because you'll have one ref. Because to be honest, if I had a different ref, he probably wouldn't even call the stall point that would have got me tied.
Yeah.
But it really just depends on the ref. But when you're winning in heavyweights, we don't have the gas tank as Marcus Blaze, so we're gonna be tired in the third period, right? So when you're just really tired and you have a little bit more in the gas tank than your other guy, them backing up and you look like you're moving, you're trying to get to a move. It's easy to call that.
Okay, yeah, because that's even I saw that when I was like, that looks like stalling, and then it was, but. Yeah, it was a great moment. It was like all the videos. Someone shot. I don't know who it was, but someone like on the mat there had a real nice camera. Had a real nice shot on that too.
So his name is Tim. I don't know if you pronounce his name Yaki or. So he's been with us for the whole year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he's been following us through Ironman all the way to the state tournament. He's a really great guy, and his camera skills are actually amazing.
Yeah, it was a cool video.
So I appreciate Tim for making that video. He's a really nice guy, and just seeing that, and like I see like everyone like post it everywhere. It was great.
Yeah,
that's a cool thing, and I'm sure Carter, you've dealt with it too. Is like we have student photographers or parents, and like just to like get those pictures. I know I love it, and I just get every a picture, maybe one or two a game. But to be able to like post those and use those, it's such a cool thing that we get that experience.
Yeah, for sure.
I know they started. I talked to a couple of because it seemed like they kept multiplying throughout the season. There's more and more cameras
on the sidelines.
Yeah, but then I finally talked to one of them. Like, oh yeah, we just started this club, and I was like, oh, so it made a little sense that there's a lot of people. I think one of them. I think she's her name's Emmy Clark, and I don't know if she's. I think she might be a freshman or sophomore, but I know her and I know her mom and stuff. So I was talking to her, but she told me. But it's such a cool thing that you guys get to see all these pictures and use them.
Yeah,
and stuff.
it's really cool. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, no, you go.
All right. I was going to say, it's really cool just because our sophomore year, it was really only Sebastian Contreras that was recording our video.
He's so awesome. I love him.
I love Seb. We love Seb too. Yeah.
Is he a senior?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So Sebastian was like one of the first people to like film, take pictures, and record us.
Yeah.
And then the next year, you see a little bit more people. And then this year, our senior year, I probably saw like 14 to 15
There's
people
so many
taking
people.
pictures on the sidelines.
I mean, same with basketball too. There's a lot of them.
Yeah,
for sure. So,
but again, it's cool to have these just because you're playing and sometimes I know as a parent when I'm watching my kids do something, I don't always think like, oh, I should take a picture of this. You're just in it, especially with basketball and football because it's a go all the time, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool that even parents have these pictures of you that they get to have and see. So what a great experience. How long have you guys been friends?
Oh,
a long time, huh?
I'd say like 5th grade, maybe.
Really?
At Hall Prairie. Yeah, we've been friends a really long time.
Okay. What do you remember? Like, were you guys in the class together, or you just started hanging out?
I just think playing basketball during recess and then going inside and eating lunch together. That's just what it started.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right.
I don't even remember like our first conversation. We just been friends ever since. Just
are you guys part of like a bigger, like you guys have like a core group of dudes that you guys hang out with?
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
The thing about friend groups now, just like people like grow apart, and so there's really like not like a lot of friend groups anymore. It's just you got
one or two dudes and
yeah.
Okay, I know. I had in high school. I went to Perrysburg and I had a solid group of dudes, probably like I don't know. 7 or 8 guys, and we still hang out. We go on vacations every 2 years. We go on vacations together, and it's just a bunch of just dudes from high school. And Mr. Bucher is one of them.
Mr. Bucher.
Mr. Bucher.
Yeah,
I remember him.
Yeah, he's one of my friends. I graduated high school with him, played football with him. But yeah, he's a good dude. Now he's Mateo's principal, which I think is funny.
Yeah, at the junior high, isn't it?
Yeah. So you've been friends for a while. Was there being friends that long? There are probably times where you guys are like mad at each other. Do you remember a stupid argument you guys had where you're like, "This is over," and then whatever you guys thought it was done?
I'm not going to lie. I don't think there was ever a time we fought.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't think there has been either.
Because the thing is, because me and Carter are such simple-minded people, just
Yeah.
like when something like doesn't go our way, okay, cool, we could just like
Just
find
move on
something
from
else.
it.
Yeah. So I don't think there's ever been a time where we got into like a big old fight.
Yeah.
Like genuinely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think ever.
Well, good, because I mean, that's
I'm fine with that.
You should be.
I'm fine with that.
That's a good thing. Yeah. I mean, we've had a couple things with my friends over the years, but it's nothing like, especially in high school, it was all just little stuff.
Yeah.
You think about it for a day, and then you don't think about it anymore, and
Exactly.
you're good to go.
It's normal. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Carter, did you go to the football games and watch all the football games?
Oh, I was at like all the football games. I was on the hype squad.
Oh, okay, all right.
was.
How was that? How do you like? Was that a good experience for you?
It did not feel real to me. I mean, leading one of the best student sections in the country, it just felt like surreal to me. Like just seeing how big it is on Friday nights, especially against Whitmer. Like when Kevin Walsh was there.
Yeah.
Like that was probably the biggest student section I've ever seen. And like being the leaders of it, it was even cooler.
Is it always seniors that lead that?
Yeah, it's always seniors.
How does that get chosen, or how do you guys decide that? Or is it just like, hey, we're doing it?
I mean, yeah, you have to like sign up for like exec board, really. So
Okay.
like, and if you get picked, then you do it. But I just got like randomly selected because some kids couldn't do it anymore.
Okay, all right. That's cool. I've never watched a high school football game from the stands. I played, and then I got into coaching, so I've always been on the field.
Yeah.
Our new coach, Coach Sievers, he coached tight ends with me, and I tried to tell him like you don't get it, man. Like it's going to be crazy, especially the Anthony Wayne game away. We couldn't believe it there, and like I told him that this Whitmer game is going to be pretty insane too. And you guys never disappoint. Those fans never disappoint, and it's so awesome to have that as like just we know. Rain or shine, like people are going to be there, especially that student section, and it's cool to see it from the first row seniors all the way up to freshmen at the top. Like that thing is full going all the time.
And I always say, like, I'm always appreciative of our student section. I honestly think we have one of the best student sections in the nation. I've always said that. I've said that every year, and just knowing the fact that the student body is coming out and supporting us every single game, it just felt great. So. Thank you to Carter. Thank you to everybody else.
Yeah. Who else was on it? What is it called? Sorry.
The Spirit Squad.
Spirit Squad.
Hype Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was me, Eli Wilkinson, Theo Sackman, and Billy Keyes.
Okay. All right.
It was super fun. We loved it. Like we would always get ready at Billy's house.
Okay.
And yeah, we would just get like so excited on the way there and be like, yeah, let's do this. Like it's gonna be fun.
Did you guys have like rituals? Like, because I'm sure football players do. Like, hey, every Friday I get this to eat, and then I'm gonna listen to these songs.
Yeah.
Did you guys always like? All right, well, we know we're getting pizza, or we're doing this, or we're going to dress up like this, or whatever.
No, not really. But
No?
the Anthony Wayne game we were the most excited for because we painted up as the Joker.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that took forever. That took so long. Yeah.
Dude, that was it was wild to see. I mean, I knew we were going to have a lot of fans there, but I didn't realize people like the fans were going to get there at the time you guys. It was like 5:30, and you guys were like there and filling that up, and it was. I tried to help you guys out with the fog machine. I gave you that little battery thing, and then I didn't realize it was broken. But you guys figured it out anyway. But yeah, the things you guys did, it's pretty cool, and obviously like plays into part of the success of the football program. Like it is a thing that people like. Sometimes we're trying to get players out and to play football. Coach Connor and I are going to meet with some kids in May, and kids that don't play or haven't played, and just we can tell them like, hey, if this is something you enjoy, like. There's going to be 100,000 people. Obviously that's a way exaggeration, but all these people watching you,
right?
Like, and it's going to make it that much better.
Like when I'm trying to get people to play football next year. That's like I feel like could be really good. There was like I don't know. It was like it's a sport. Like it's fun. It's just you're going there having fun with your teammates, your friends, turn to family.
Yeah.
Right, so I feel like people should at least give sports a try. If you don't like it, then you don't have to do it anymore. But for me, that experience for me was for rugby. So I played rugby my freshman and sophomore year, and I was so scared to play because people say it's football without pass. I was like, man, I don't know. Went to my first practice, fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Like, it was so much fun. So I just think people just need to give sports a try.
For sure. When I would work, I'd always go into the junior high. You guys might have been in the junior high when I would go in there. I would go in on Mondays and talk to everyone during lunch and stuff. And I was like, say, hey, you want to play football? And if they wanted to, they'd sign the sheet so I had their contact information. And and they're like, no, I don't play. And then I always ask them, like, all right, well, what do you do? And they'd always, I do soccer or cross country or I do this. I'm like, all right, then I don't bother them as much. Like, you're doing something, right?
Yeah.
But if they'd always be like, oh, nothing, I was like, well, do something. Like,
Right.
if you're gonna say no, like do something.
Right.
That's true.
Carter, you said you played basketball. Did you do any other sports, or were you in clubs or anything?
I was in Pride Club since my freshman year.
Okay.
My sister was a senior, so I just followed her to it, and I've just been doing it ever since.
Yeah.
And I also played baseball, and I quit my 8th grade year.
Okay.
I all the way down to T-ball. I've been
Oh,
playing
really?
baseball. Yeah.
You
I played travel and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah.
So what went into that decision? You were just like, hey, I'm going to focus on one thing, or
Yeah, so just going into high school, I just wanted to narrow it down to one sport and just focus on that and just be really good at it.
yeah.
And so, yeah, and I just knew that my love was basketball at a young age.
What position do you play, or did you play basketball?
I play power forward.
Okay, all right. There isn't a lot of, not just in high school, but in NBA in general. There is no posting up anymore. That was my favorite thing. I love posting up. I'm also a big dude, so it was fun. But even I listened to Ryan Rosillo's podcast, and he talks about Zach Edey, who led the country as a college player with like 20 plus post ups. In the NBA, he gets like 1.2.
Yeah.
That's what he's averaging per game, which is wild. Like it's just not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's just you guys are just moving around, motion, just doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and you got guys like Steph Curry that can just shoot out the gym. Too, so
He just went over 4,000 3-pointers.
yeah, 4,000 3-pointers.
That's
that's
wild.
right.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What's your favorite NBA team?
The Cavs.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's always been the Cavs.
Yeah, I like the Browns, the Cavs, Ohio State. Yeah,
Okay.
just big Ohio guy.
All right. Were you? How mad were you when LeBron left the first time? Or how old were you when that happened?
What grade were we in?
Dude, I don't even know.
That it had to be like 2012
12 or like,
because they were in the finals against the Mavericks in 2011.
okay, yeah.
So maybe 2009 or 10, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I'd say I was in like maybe first, second grade, something around
So
there.
you're probably crying and everything, like, devastated.
Yeah, I know. Because,
Oh, LeBron!
yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember I was upset about it.
Yeah,
it
sure.
was really upset.
How'd you feel in that 2016 championship?
Oh my god, I loved it. I loved it, but at the same time, I liked Steph Curry because I just thought he was super cool at a young age. Like he could just shoot everything. I was like, damn, like I want to be like him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still loved LeBron. So yeah, I just thought it was super cool that LeBron beat Steph Curry.
Sure. And that's a huge thing now is kids just gravitating towards players.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, especially, it came out a lot now since Luka got traded. Like, yeah, well, there's a lot of Mavs fans that are just gonna be Lakers fans because they like Luka.
Yeah.
And that wasn't such a big thing for me. I had a couple friends. I had one friend, his name was Andrew, who really liked Shaq. So wherever Shaq went,
Right.
that's who I like the Spurs, and so I've always liked the Spurs. And you know, so I never was like, oh, I like that guy, so I'm going to follow him. It's just, but that's just a generation thing, right?
Yeah.
Have you been to Cavs games?
I've been to one Cavs
really?
game. Yeah, it was last year.
All right. I went last year I wanted to watch Wemby play.
Oh, okay.
It's wild to see him in person.
Yeah.
To see him play, it's just it looks so weird.
How tall is he? Like 7'3"?
7'3", yeah,
Wow.
7'4". He can, he shoots it well, and even just him warming up and like, all right, I'm just gonna put my arm up and like put it in the hoop. And, I'm gonna shoot the shot that looks really weird, and just because he's so tall, like he has a good shot, but it's just so weird because he's so tall. But it was a cool experience to see and like him do that. I don't know, it was just something I'll never forget because it was so wild to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So since you're a Spurs fan, so like who would you say like your top 3 Spurs players?
Who
of all time?
I love David Robinson. He was always
that's a good one.
He was always my number one dude. I loved him. I used to do any projects that I would do at elementary school. There's this thing called I don't know if you guys did it in elementary school. We called it a hero sandwich, where basically it was pieces of construction paper, different color that looked like a big sub.
Right.
And I remember specifically doing one about David Robinson. You write whatever it was for the bread and the lettuce. You just wrote different things.
Yeah.
But I always did projects on him. Tim Duncan too. He was, what I really liked about him is he was not like out there all the time. He was not Kobe being all loud. Kobe was great. He had the ability. Because he was so great, he could be loud and he was fine. He was just so unassuming. Like he just did his job. He got 5 titles, 1 MVPs, like all this stuff, and it was just like, I'm gonna put my head down and keep going. And even after he retired, nobody sees him or he doesn't do any interviews or nothing. He's just there. And every once in a while, they'll pan to him in the crowd at a Spurs home game, and he's there watching. But he just went about his business,
just minding his own business.
Yeah. There was this commercial of I forget what it was. It was Tim Duncan, Derrick Rose, and somebody else, and it was about like some NBA game coming up or whatever. And Derrick Rose was like, "Oh, I'm gonna call Tim. He's gonna be so excited." And he's like, "Hey Tim, such and such game is coming up," and then he goes like, "Oh my God, really? I can't wait." And then there's a little plant, and he just goes, "I just knocked over a plant." Like it was such a good commercial, but I remember that a lot.
Oh, that sounds funny.
And then probably my last one, you asked for 3, Greg Popovich.
Okay.
Gotta put the coach in there.
Dude,
Coach Pop.
he I've been lucky enough to see all 5 championships, and obviously he was a big part of all of them.
Yeah.
And like how he coaches, how he can get buy-in from his main stars to just act like, I'm going to chew your ass out. I don't care if you're Tim Duncan or Tony Parker or if you're the 8th guy on the bench. Like,
Right.
I'm going to treat you all the same. And a coach can attempt to do that, but the players still need to buy into that kind of stuff. And like that, he was able to do that. Memories that always stick to me in my head about him is 3 seconds into a game, if they mess something up, he would call a timeout and just rip into everybody. and like, I don't see a lot of coaches doing that, but like, him doing that, I knew like, oh man, they literally just talked about something and they fucked it up right away. Like you can't do that, man. In the NBA, like it's not supposed to happen. It also goes to show, like, it does. I don't know, NBA, college, high school, little kids, like they're all gonna mess something up,
Right.
and you just go about your business. But yeah, it's as much as I love like the Spurs and basketball, baseball is my favorite, but because I got to see all these championships, it is something that I really love, and now my son likes it too. We got him a Kawhi Leonard jersey, and then he immediately gets
Nice.
traded.
Wow.
And then we got him. He has old jerseys too. Like he bought a retro Dave Robinson jersey. We went to a game in Austin a couple years ago when we were down in Texas, and now he has a Wemby jersey. So it's fun. It's fun to like be a part of that too, and to hope that happens because you guys. You're all Ohio. I don't know where you sit as far as pro sports. Like, what teams you like?
So for NFL, I'm a Texans fan. I was a huge J.J. Watt fan. Like when I was younger, I watched all of his defensive line film. So then when he got traded, I was like, I really don't have a team, so I'm gonna just stick with the Texans. So I'm a Texans fan for NFL. College, I'm an Oregon fan just because when I was in like 5th grade, everyone was like, "Oh, I like Ohio State. I like Michigan. I like Alabama."
Yeah.
It's just Oregon has cool uniforms. I would just make them my team. So then I became an Oregon fan.
Dude, that has been the Oregon thing since I was like 13 years old. Like they were the first ones to be like, you know what, we're gonna have all these different options. I remember looking at ESPN magazine at their locker rooms. They were the first ones to have like TVs in their locker room and all this stuff. So yeah, that's been a thing for a while.
And then basketball, I'm more like my dad. Is just whatever game is on, just watching.
Yeah.
I don't really have a favorite basketball team though.
But that really plays into what I was gonna say about my kids is like you're following a guy you like, J.J. Watt, and now you like the Texans. You like Oregon for different reasons, and now any kid can watch any game anytime for the most part, and that's what I was worried about because I like the Texas teams because my parents were from Texas, and my dad liked those teams, and that's just what I did. Now, I was so worried that he was going to gravitate towards Ohio State or Michigan or, Ohio teams just because that's what's around, but he stuck with the teams that I like, which makes it a lot easier to do sports and stuff. But it is an easy thing to be like, no, I'm going to be a Washington State fan because of this person and be a Washington State fan.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your Carter? What's your favorite sport to watch? Is it basketball, or is it you have other sports you like to watch?
Basketball and football.
Yeah.
I love watching both of them. I mean, yeah, that's really hard to pick. It's really 50-50.
Do you play fantasy sports?
I don't. No.
Have you ever done it?
No.
No?
I haven't. I should give it a try though.
It's fun. Not that I'm telling you you should be gambling, but that's what makes it more fun, right? If you put money into it. But Eric, what about you? What do you like to watch?
I love watching rugby.
Oh, okay,
international rugby.
Dude, I love watching TikToks of that. Yeah,
yeah, it's just so much fun because when you watch people who actually know how to play rugby, it just looks great. Mm-hmm. And then another sneaky one I like watching. I love watching tennis.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's just me and my dad were watching it one night, and then I just got all fascinated with tennis. So
yeah,
just keep watching tennis. I just started watching tennis.
Sometimes it takes one time, and it's catches an interest or whatever, whatever it could be.
Like Serena Williams, I was just watching like a lot of her, and then I also like watching wrestling as well.
Sure. What is speaking of wrestling? Just talk about your experience at the state tournament. How was that for you?
Oh man, just the opportunity just to wrestle there. It's everything you can't imagine.
Yeah.
You get ready to wrestle, and you just see the shining lights everywhere. You just see the people around. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
Me personally, I didn't do good. I went 0-2, and I hurt my knee. But it was just unfortunate. But just the opportunity to be there and say like, oh, I was a state qualifier.
Yeah.
In my third year of wrestling is still really cool.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Did that make you? I mean, you shouldn't have regrets, but it made you think like, oh man, maybe if I would have, looked into wrestling a little bit sooner. You know?
Oh my God, I've always said that. That's probably one of my biggest what ifs, to be honest.
Sure.
Because I didn't wrestle sophomore year, so I really regret doing that. And then Scotty wanted me to wrestle in junior high, and I was always like, no man, I'm a basketball player because I played basketball in 8th grade.
Okay.
And I didn't play at all, but but I was like, nah, man, I'm just a basketball guy. And then I told Scotty this my freshman year: if I don't make the basketball team, I'll come wrestle for you.
Sure.
Get cut first day. And I was like, no,
now I gotta wrestle. Oh.
I went to Dick's, got some wrestling shoes, got me headgear. I was at wrestling practice that next day.
Oh yeah,
nice.
All right, that's good because some people are like, nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna play. I know what I said, but I ain't gonna do it.
Right, but besides that, I really don't regret anything. I gave it everything I could.
Good,
especially with the little experience I got. I still tried my best and everything. So. I'm glad it ended the way it did. Now I'm ready for my next chapter.
Sure. And speaking of that, what are you doing after high school?
I'll be going to Adrian College and play football.
What went into that decision? Because I know, as someone who was in high school and got recruited a little bit, like it is kind of a big deal. Like, so for you, like what went into that?
So I was actually committed to Siena Heights at first. I committed to Siena Heights like midway through the season.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, and then I felt like it was a good fit at first, and then just like going through everything, me and my family talked, and I personally thought I rushed it a little bit.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to think about it during the season, because I didn't want to have that burden on me.
Yeah.
So I called my coaches. I said, hey guys, I still love Siena as an option, but I feel like I should go look for other options and see what was truly best for me. Mm-hmm. They said it was okay, so I have nothing but love for Siena. And then wrestling season gets done. Football season gets done, and I have a bunch of coaches texting me, calling me saying, "Oh, we heard you decommitted and all that." And I was like, "Yeah." So what made Adrian the difference maker for me?
Yeah,
is the connection with the coaches. I love every single person on that coaching staff. They treated me like I was one of their own players, and I wasn't even one of their players yet. And so, yeah, it was a big thing for me, coaches, and it's close to home.
Yeah.
It's far enough to where my mom...
You get a college experience.
Yeah, and my mom gives me some independency, but it's close enough to, Mom, if you want to do my laundry this week, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Well, she might not want to do it after that independent comment, but...
Probably not.
That's cool, man. Did you go on multiple recruiting trips throughout this year?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Mount Union. I went to Heidelberg. I went to Tiffin. I went to Walsh. That was pretty cool. Walsh was pretty cool. And Wittenberg, and then Adrian was just the one.
Yeah,
So.
nice. That was the first college football game my kids ever went to was Adrian versus Heidelberg at Adrian. Adrian's stadium is pretty neat. I like it. It looks pretty new, and then I was blown away by the ability for my kids to get access to the field. Like they were literally they were with the players almost. Like it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah. It happened at Heidelberg too. I think I told a story on here before where my kids literally after halftime, there's no people at the gate anymore, and they walked in and they were basically leaning against the goalpost.
Oh my god!
Like they were just on the field with everybody else, and my wife and I were just watching from on top of the hill at Heidelberg, just watching them be down there. But it was a cool experience, and like I said, the Adrian facilities looked really nice. It was cool, so I'm glad you're happy with your decision. And
thank you.
What are you going to do for school?
I'm going to major in early childhood education.
Okay, all right, teacher.
Yep.
All right, is there a subject you're aiming for?
Since it's early childhood, I might have to do like all of it because like if I'm going to elementary school.
Okay.
But if I go to like the junior high, then probably gonna be math.
Okay.
I'm a big math guy.
Ugh, that's my worst thing.
But
ever.
speaking of you saying that your kids always find access to the field, actually reminded me. This year, I don't know why, but I've always found a random kid just on the sidelines with us. So, who was it? Oh my God, who was it? It was against Springfield.
Yeah.
It was against Springfield, and we get a big stop on 4th down, and I'm coming off the field, and this kid comes up to me and says, "Good job," and gives me a high five. And I was like, whose kid is this?
That's
then
funny.
we saw the parent like yelling at the kid. So I was like, "Hey, buddy, come on, we gotta go to this gate." Run to his gate, and I was like, "How did he even get over here?" I think he jumped the fence.
That's wild. That's wild.
Wow. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Carter, what about you? What are you doing after high school?
Oh, I'm going to BGSU. I'm looking into nursing actually for my major.
Okay.
Like just the nursing field. I'm still like unsure really.
I had a guest on a couple weeks ago who's a nurse. He did the accelerated school where it took him a year. He went to school for a year to be a nurse. He said it was very difficult because everything was just compacted into 1 year. But why nursing?
I don't know. It just seems like something that interests me,
Yeah.
and I love working with people, and I'm really kind, so I just feel like it's a really good fit for me.
What made you want to go to BG?
My sister goes there. It's close to home, and yeah, my mom can give me independence as well. So,
Well, you don't get as much as me though.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
an hour away and you're 15.
yeah, that's
You're
true.
15 minutes away.
And I just really like BGSU's campus and
Yeah.
stuff, and like going to their sports. Like they're pretty good at their sports,
Yeah.
like basketball, football.
You got Eddie George now.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I
BGSU.
saw that.
Yeah. So those games gonna be right. I bet there's gonna be a lot of people there now.
Oh,
just
yeah.
for that reason.
For sure.
I love the Stroh Center. I watched games in there. My Scott Bucher, he went to OU, so OU played there a couple years ago. So he and I went and watched that. We watched the OU football game against BG there too. So it's fun. I went there for a couple semesters. It is. I stayed at home. I was a commuter. Are you staying on campus?
I'm staying on campus. Yeah.
That was one thing I wish I would have got to experience, just like living in dorms. I moved out and lived with my buddies on South College down at BG for a year. And then my girlfriend at the time, she's my wife now, but we lived down there too. I love BG. Even now, if we have time, we'll go down there at Campus Poly Eyes, get some stuffed breadsticks.
Oh my God.
That's so
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Oh my, I haven't had that in a while.
I love
actually.
campus poly.
It is so good.
It is very good.
For when I was a junior high football coach, I would junior high coach and freshman coach, I would go down when the varsity was there, and me and Mr. Bucher would always make a date to go after the game to go get Campus Poly Eyes. So
Yeah.
good. Mr. Spots is good.
Oh my God. I was just
Fire
there
steak.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Wait, what's Mr. Spots?
It's a sub place, I guess, but it's
Yeah.
all hot subs.
Okay.
Yeah, they have one. I always just get the fire steak, just spicy. They have good waffle fries.
Oh my God,
Those
they
are
do.
really good.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
actually.
They do. It's super good.
And then an awesome breakfast place. It's not downtown. It's a little bit south. It's called Kermit's.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
My grandpa takes me there.
Oh, dude, does he?
sometimes. Yeah,
Dude,
it's super good.
It is very good.
I love it.
Yeah, so BG, I love BG. We try to get down there a couple times a year. We like to go to the hockey games.
Oh yeah.
So we go there. Always go early to get dinner and then go to the hockey games. I don't know what it is about high school hockey. It's just so much fun.
Yeah,
So much fun.
it is fun.
I think for me, I have no idea what's going on half the time. Like I can't tell you a single rule. Like, I don't know what offsides is, but I just know when we score, everyone goes crazy.
Yeah.
So.
I'm the exact same way. I don't really know the rules. Like I'll see the refs like do this. I'm like, what is that? Like I don't know what that is.
But then when I see one of our players score, yeah.
I learned hockey by watching high school hockey games because it's when I'm not in the student section, so I can pay attention and learn. So I learned a lot of stuff through watching high school hockey. It was mostly you guys remember Sam Yonker?
Yeah.
He was a big reason why I started playing. Him and his brother, and then Gunnar Daler, who he was.
Yeah, I know Gunnar.
He was my first. I think my first when I became a head freshman football coach. He was one of the first classes I did, but he got me going too. And I can't forget Carson Schlatter. He was awesome too. He was one of my dudes too. I really liked him. So, well, guys, I appreciate you coming on here. I had a lot of fun. Thanks for coming out here. Good luck in your futures.
Thank you.
I look forward to hearing about them. Come back on after a year in college. You can come on and talk about your college experiences.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's do it for sure.
Cool, man. Well, thanks again.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for downloading this episode of the Nerdball Podcast. If you want to reach out or be on the show, just search the Nerdball Podcast on any social media. If you want to email us, that is thenerdballpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, there's always YouTube, so you can go on there, subscribe to the Nerdball Podcast, and watch the podcast every week. As always, thanks to Real JP Multimedia, Cuttlefish Graphics, Big Daddy Graphics, and Perrysburg Junior High STEM Lab for always supporting the podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.